World War II, the most devastating war in human history, started with the dictator Hitler, who fell in love with Germany and was born in Austria, not Germany, in 1889. Hitler, who dreamed of becoming an art student in 1910 before the start of World War I, repeatedly failed the entrance exams at Austria's top art school. Eventually, he went to the school and appealed. Unlike the fine art that the school wanted, Hitler's art was like an aerial view of an apartment building. At school, an administrator said he had a talent for architecture. So young Hitler changed his mind and moved to Germany to become an architect. Before World War I, Germany's national power was strong and its cities were dazzling. Having fallen in love with the wonderful German Empire, Hitler eventually abandoned architecture and fell in love with the books about the greatness of the German people. However, living in a foreign country without family, friends, or money was very difficult. A once-in-a-lifetime incident happened to the unemployed Hitler, who barely earned money by drawing pictures on postcards. In August 1914, World War I broke out. Hitler enlisted voluntarily in the German army and served as a liaison officer, which was said to be the most splendid moment of his life. For Hitler, whose life did not go his way, the military was an organization and recognized the merits of his work. He fell in love with the military in this way, and warmongers' sprouts began to emerge. And after Germany's defeat in World War I, he continued his military service in Germany. One day in 1919, when Hitler received an order from his military superior, no one could have imagined that this order would change Hitler and the future of all mankind. Looking at the situation at that time, after World War I, the German Empire has collapsed and the Weimar Republic was now established. In fact, under the parliamentary democracy that was only in name, dozens of small political parties were battling each other to try and seize power. In response, Hitler's military superior ordered him to spy on what schemes the small parties were planning, especially the German Workers' Party. Hitler went into Munich's basement bars for espionage. Hitler, who loved Germany, could not stand still as the party members lamented their situation negatively at the German workers' rally. He got up from his seat and began to give a speech about how people should live as great Germans. His appealing voice and his speech that roared like an actor tempted the hearts of all party members. The majority leader of the German Workers' Party, Anton Drexler, who was there, eventually invited Hitler to join the party. And in this way, he left the German army and joined the German Workers' Party. At every Workers' Party event, Hitler gave a passionate speech and the audience went crazy. Hitler, who rose in the ranks, eventually took control of the German Workers' Party, turning it into his own party in 1920. The name of the party was the National Socialist German Workers' Party, abbreviated as Nazi. In 1923, Hitler was arrested as a hasty coup attempting to take control of the Munich local government. The moment of crisis came when he was brought to trial for the heavy crime of treason against the state. However, he turned into a national star. When asked why he had attempted a coup, he gave a distinctive speech, exclaiming that he had reason to make Germany great again. In the eyes of the German, who had fallen into a sense of defeat after the war, he was seen as a savior. Originally sentenced to death, he was released on parole after 13 months, fueled by his nationwide popularity. In the meantime, he read fan letters and spent a happy time in prison. Hitler's autobiography was also written at this time. In any case, Hitler, who had suffered in prison, tried to expand the Nazi Party into the central political system by legal means rather than violence, but it was not easy. At this time, the incident that caused Hitler to narrowly escape a court. In 1929, the Great Depression broke out in the United States. When the United States, which represented 47% of the world's economy, collapsed, most of the countries in the world collapsed, one after another like dominoes, and Germany fell into a state of being unable to recover. In this economic chaos, Hitler knew clearly what he was going to do. In his speeches, his main weapon, he was shouting that what Germany needed was strong leadership. After gaining a favorable response from public opinion, he gained momentum and ran for president. In the 1932 presidential election, Hitler came in second with 36.8% of the vote, and the winner who became president with 53% of the vote was Field Marshal Paul von Hindenburg, a war hero in World War I. An unknown politician, Hitler competed head-to-head with a war hero. Conservative right-wing politicians took advantage of the new political star's popularity, thinking that they could throw it away later. Among them, the person who tried to take advantage of Hitler's popularity the most was Franz von Papen, who was expelled from the position of Prime Minister of the Weimar Republic. He proposed setting up Hitler as Prime Minister and that he would become Deputy Prime Minister. But once he entered politics again, he planned to manipulate Hitler from behind. However, it was Hindenburg, the president of the Weimar Republic, who unexpectedly interfered with this plan. He himself was a German field marshal in World War I, and at best it meant it was out of place to play politics shoulder to shoulder with Hitler on Austrian born corporal in reserve. However, due to von Papen's persistent persuasion, Hitler eventually became prime minister, but Hitler begged conservative and right-wing politicians to pass only one law, which was the Enabling Act that changed the fate of Germany. This meant that the prime minister Hitler, who had taken over the cabinet, could make extra constitutional laws that ignored the German constitution at will. Germany's right-wing politicians surprisingly even helped to pass this appalling bill. They firmly believed that Hitler's power was theirs. In this way, parliamentary democracy in the Weimar Republic was broken, and the dictatorship of Hitler and the Nazi Party began on March 24, 1933.